Foreclosures are up, but are they? Welcome to Dre's Take. This week we take a look at the January foreclosure activity from the real estate analytics firm ATTOM. According to ATTOM, just under 31,000 properties had foreclosure filings, default notices, scheduled auctions, or bank repossessions in January, marking an uptick of 8% from December, but down 7% from last year. But let's go back in time briefly to see where we're coming from so we know where we're headed. In the COVID era market, foreclosures basically didn't exist, as governments issued moratoriums and banks offered forbearance and other loan modification options to prevent homeowners from defaulting. When those measures were lifted and the forbearance terms expired, foreclosures resumed as normal, and the number in terms of percentage change seemed dramatic until you dug a little deeper into the actual volume. For example, if you had one foreclosure last year and then this year you have two foreclosures, that represents a percentage change of 100%. Now, if you read a news article that said foreclosures are up 100%, you'd probably think the sky was falling and the real estate market was about to collapse, when in reality there was only one additional foreclosure. Fast forward to the post-COVID recovery era, say 2024, when foreclosure volume numbers are barely back to where they were in the early 2000s. And when I say early 2000s, I mean since Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000. Matter of fact, throughout 2024, foreclosures actually trended down. So here we are looking at the January 2025 numbers and we see a slight uptick. But is it a cause for concern? Foreclosure starts were up 8% from December, but down 4% year over year. And actual foreclosure completions were up by less than 1% from December and down a whopping 25% year over year. The month-over-month uptick is most likely due to post-holiday catch-up filings. Overall, the incredibly high number of homes that have over 50% equity, the incredibly high number of mortgages that are extremely low, and the willingness of banks to work with at-risk borrowers to prevent default paint a picture that makes you see that foreclosures are unlikely to hit any sort of danger levels. It is important to note, however, and keep an eye on these numbers, as mass government layoffs and the inevitable faltering of businesses who can't withstand the extension of this high interest rate environment close down, and that could cause unemployment to tick up slightly and lead to some increased foreclosure activity. However, I would expect most of that, or the brunt of that foreclosure activity, to take place in the hyper-local markets, especially where government employs a lot of people. So for instance, DC is sure to see some troubled waters ahead. For the rest of us, the impacts should be minimal at best. I would like to point out that as a short sale and foreclosure resource designation holder, I'm uniquely qualified to help folks who find themselves in a situation where they're facing a foreclosure or who may need to attempt a short sale. I've got attorneys and foreclosure processors on tap if you need, and we can definitely help. And as always, for all your real estate needs, I'm also always happy to help. Feel free to reach out. That is going to do it for Dre's Take this week. I hope to see you next Wednesday. Take care, folks.